episode of ASMR Reality. Tonight we will be doing another real estate video. I will be walking through a home that I toured this week with a client, and I thought this would make for an interesting video for any of you that do have some interest in real estate, because this is a home that needs some TLC. A lot of times clients just will not go just the extra little step to complete the home, to make it sell. Little things that would have helped this home sell a lot better and present a lot better. And as I listened to my client, I could see that the little things do matter. So without further ado, let's walk through this home and check it out. As you can see, we are on the outside of the home currently, and I am just walking up. Now, what is the first thing that you notice? Well, for starters, I'm parked on the street. Why? Because no one has driven in this driveway yet. All they did was shovel a little walkway up to the door, and they really didn't even do a good job, because now that is pretty much ice and it is an incline of a driveway. So my client is going to have to park on the street too. Look, what are those? Those are leaves. What on earth? We have not had leaves for months. These should have been long gone. And what are they doing? They're all tracked throughout the house, because all of those leaves from the porch are coming into that front entryway. Luckily it's tile, so it's not doing any harm. There's 2 items in that closet that have no business being there. It's like, really, you took everything out of the house and you left like a half a box full of stuff. It's crazy. This is an open floor plan. This is just a small brick ranch home. But notice the deck has not been cleared, so there's no going outside without tracking in a bunch of snow into the home. So you have a choice to, mess these people's home up even worse, or don't go out on the deck. A few more items in there. Again, I get the garage door opener because you want to leave that, but just maybe these are receipts for the house. But again, there's a better place than leaving them there. I'm always just kind of looking for little leaks. I got here a little earlier before my client. I'm pointing out fingerprints all over the refrigerator. It just needs cleaned. It's like they got moved out, but they did not do a final clean on this home, and so it just presents dirty, and it does affect the home. It affects the way a client feels when they're in the home. It affects how it presents. Notice they have 2 black appliances and 2 stainless steel appliances. This is the laundry room. Now the water heater is new, but this is the furnace, and it is old. I'm pointing out there that you can look there and get a date of manufacture. That is the original furnace that actually came with the home. The garage is drywalled, but it is not painted. It's like, why would you go through the hassle of insulating and drywalling a garage and not go the final step of just painting it? It just, it would probably cost $500 to paint that garage. It's just, I guess some people are tight with money, but again, if you spend another $1,000, $500 on paint and $500 on cleaning and little touch-ups here and there, $1,000, you could make an extra $5,000 to $10,000 just in the way the home presents. But some people just won't. It's just the little things that can make a big difference. As you can see, the majority of this home is carpet. Notice that there are no overhead lights in any of the bedrooms. These are like cost-cutting things that builders would do. And what they would do is they would make one of the plug-ins operate by the light switch. So you have to get a floor lamp or a table-side lamp, and to be able to have light in the bedrooms, which is another, just a cheap feature of this home, that there's no overhead lighting. There's a light in the closet, but not in the bedroom, which is just weird. It does have a master suite, so you see the double sinks and it has a separate linen closet for the master bedroom, which is nice. Overall, again, I'm not saying this house is horrible, but on an A to F grading scale, I give it a C, and really a C minus, because so to get it to a B plus is just cleaning. That's it. So anyway, you get kind of the idea. The reason I wanted to point out this home in particular, because it's small, and you've already got the hassle of knowing you're selling when it's cold. It's the worst time of year to sell. I'm in the Midwest. I'm in Indiana, and we do, as a real estate agent, you are going to make 85% of your money, maybe 90% of your money, from March to October. And it's one of the great benefits of being in real estate, because it's like you get the holidays off. I mean, you're not off work, but you're working so much less than you work throughout the rest of the year. November, December, January, and February are just like, you work probably 1/10 of the hours that you work from March to October. Now, there are a lot of agents, like if they struggle with business, they will do things in those months, like actually drive and go visit their clients at work and bring them something. It's called doing a pop by. P-O-P-B-Y. Pop by. You're just popping by to say hi. But maybe you bring a calendar, or you bring some like candy, or like if it's Halloween time, you bring some sort of Halloween themed something, I don't do that. I think people that are really struggling to get business, they will do those types of things. I just don't see that producing a lot. I'm not the type of, I tell my clients that I'm not the type of salesperson that is going to be calling them all the time, asking them to send me their friends and family. The way I feel about sales is that if I do a good enough job, I don't have to ask for people to send me clients. They just will. I don't have to call them 2 weeks after they bought the house and said, hey, how are you liking it? If they've got a problem, they know they can call me. One of the things that I'll say to my clients when we first get started in the home searching process or home selling process is that I will say, this is kind of going to be like a marriage. When we first launch your house for sale, it's like we're going to be talking all the time. We're going to be seeing each other a lot. It's going to be like we get married. But once your house sells, or once you buy your new home, it's kind of like we get divorced. It's like, I'm not that we have animosity, but you will call me if you need me. You will know where to find me, but I won't bother you. And I'm not going to be in your day-to-day life after that. I'm not going to bombard your email box with spam and marketing, because I just don't feel it's necessary. I tell people that I work assassin style, that if my phone rings, I will take the job or I will solve the problem. And I take it seriously. I mean, I literally walk around everywhere I go with 2 phones. I tell people that my office is open 7 a.m. to 1 a.m. And and I will take a work call. I would do it at 1:30, but nobody calls after 1. About 1 is about as late as I've ever worked, as far as actually talking on the phone with a client or something. So there's just so many ways to do it. Now, I am not, I'm not saying that my peers that do things differently are doing it wrong. There are 1,000 ways to do it right. Everybody has like their own little niche. Everybody, like women do it different than guys, right? The women are, I mean, they do a lot of Facebooking and Instagram and doing all kinds of different things that like some clients prefer a woman, some clients prefer a man. I'm the type of realtor that it's not like I'm robotic. I've got an amazing personality. I'm very witty with my clients. I joke. I make them laugh. We have fun. But at the same time, I am there to do a job. So I always tell them, I'm going to come into your life. I'm going to get this thing done, and then I'm going to leave. And part of that is just so that they don't have the expectation that I'm going to be calling them or sending them Facebook, stuff or any of the other madness that other people do. Like, I don't send birthday cards or anything like that. Everybody's life is busy enough. I'm not their family. It's like, I don't want to interrupt people's lives. I want to be a professional. I want to be there for what they need me for. But I know what it's like. Like, on my birthday, I get companies, all these birthday, I get all these birthday wishes and emails and, all these marketing calls from, in real estate, mortgage brokers just attack realtors because they want us to send our mortgage business to them. There is not a day goes by that I don't get some sort of marketing call from a mortgage company. And it's frustrating. It's like I wish there was some way to block them out, because I would. There's other marketing companies that will call you about selling you leads or selling you software that they say will help you get more clients, because that's what every realtor that is struggling is trying to do, is get more clients. And when they call me, when I get these marketing calls, I feel I'm a very empathetic person, so I have a hard time just telling people to F off and hang up on them. So I don't, but I just say, hey, listen, I don't want to waste your time, but I'm transitioning my business down to only working with people I know or people that get referred to me. So I'm not looking for, I call it a stranger business, because that's what it is. When you're buying leads, you're calling this person and saying, hey, Mr. Smith, my name is Derek. I got your lead through XYZ real estate company, Zillow, Realtor.com, whatever it be. And they tell me you might be looking at 123 Main Street, or they tell me you may want to sell your house at 123 Main Street. Is that correct? So you're starting from nothing. You're starting from, hi, my name is Derek. And it's just much harder to sell a home like that rather than to get a phone call. One day your phone will ring and it will be, hey, Derek, this is Nancy. My friend Susie said that you helped her sell your house, and she thought you might be interested in helping me sell mine. Do you have availability to come by my home and take a look at it? Well, sure, Nancy, I would love to. See, that's a much better way to start than you are the one calling and trying to convince somebody to use you that doesn't even know you. You have built no rapport, and this goes for a lot of sales. And that's why it's just so good to have repeat and referral business. That's why it's so important how you operate. You better be efficient, you better be professional, and you better live up to the promises you made. And you better set proper expectations. I would never meet a client and tell them, hey, I'm going to sell your house in 24 hours. I guarantee it. No, I don't set those types of unrealistic expectations. What I typically say is, I like to make the home go live on the internet on a Thursday. Let showings start Friday evening. That allows some pent-up time for people to see it but not be able to get in, to kind of build some anticipation. Then then on Friday, the showings start. And then my hope is that by Monday, we would have some sort of offer. Now, it doesn't always happen, but that is my goal. And sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. You know, I'll have listings that sit for 1 week and 2 weeks and 3 weeks. The longest listing I ever had was 6 months. It's the only listing I never sold in my entire career. And it's because the guy was just so out there on price. I shouldn't have taken the job, but I liked the guy, and I really thought if I could just take the job at the stupid high price, that by beginning that client relationship with him, that I can make inroads with him and build some rapport and some trust to where I could convince him that, bro, your price is just off the Richter scale crazy. It's never gonna sell. And the other side of it is, even when something is priced way too high, you just never know if someone just might be like, I don't care if it's too much, I want it. And this was a very special property. It was 20 acres, and 10 acres of it was a private lake. So it was a 20-acre property, but 10 acres of it was water, so there was only 10 acres of land. So it was very unique, but the house was just horrible. The property was worth like $600,000 at best, probably like $550 really, and he was asking $1.2 million when I first met him. So I first interviewed with him. Some other agent had tried to sell it for $1.2 million. It obviously never sold, so he was firing that agent and looking to hire another one. So I interviewed with him, and I just said, look, if you're going to try to list it again for $1.2 million, I don't need the practice. I don't need to try to do what that dude did. You might as well just hire him again. And I said, listen, if you'll discount it, I will do it. So we sold for $1 million. He agreed to give me the listing, and I still knew it was way too high. I worked on him, and I worked on him, and I worked on him. I got him offers, which the first guy never got. So I got him an offer for $600,000, and it was cash. And I begged him. I said, his name was Wade. I said, Wade, let's sell the house. This guy was old, like 80 years old. I said, let's sell the house. Let's put it in Bitcoin when you sell it, and then we'll sit it there for a year, and I will almost guarantee you that it will be at least $1 million within a year. And I said, I will cover any loss. I can't guarantee you that it'll be $1 million, but I will pay you whatever under 600,000 it is. So if your 600,000 becomes 500, I will pay you 100,000. If it becomes 400, I will pay you 200,000. That's how certain I am. I made that deal with him, begged him to take the deal. He didn't take the deal. Okay. Fast forward. This was 2.5, 3 years ago. Bitcoin was probably like 25, 30 grand. Today, Bitcoin is over $100,000. He would have had $2.4 million today if he would have done what I said. Now, I think the reason I brought this up is because he's top of mind, because he emails me probably about once every 3 or 4 months with some Bitcoin article. And it just like the last 2 days, he had emailed me something. And so here's the interesting thing. Not only did he not do that deal, the house has never sold. I walked away after my 6-month contract, and he was not willing to go less. I said, I don't need to try again. So he has had other agents take it, and no other agents have been able to sell it either, but no other agent has got him an offer. And he has written me, and he said, I wish I would have listened to you. I wish I would have took that deal. But instead, like, he spends his whole life mowing that 10 acres of ground. He spends all summer mowing, like literally every day it doesn't rain, he's mowing. And it's sad because he's tired of doing it. He at $600,000. He's making good money. But because in his mind, when he bought it for $250,000, he believed that he stole it. He believed when he bought it for $250,000, oh my God, this thing's worth $1 million, and I'm only paying $250,000. So here we are, 16 years, 17 years later, and the guy just cannot accept that he was wrong. His kids have tried to tell him he's wrong. And that's why I think, again, his pride is in the way, because he wants to be proven right. And the only way he's going to be proven right is if that property sells for $1 million. And it's just in no danger. So sometimes you run into these situations where you have stubborn clients. And think about this. For those of you thinking to get in real estate, I probably did. I would guess 10 open houses there. These are typically 4 hours long, like a 12 to 4. Sometimes they're 2 hours long, but there I would have done 4 hours because the property was so big, and it was quite a drive away from my house. So when I would do them, I would want to spend some time there so I didn't have to go back and forth. I spent a lot of time, with the photographer, getting the listing going. Hundreds of phone calls over the course of 6 months. All of that time invested, wasted. You get paid nothing when you put a sign in the yard, and when you take it out of a yard, unless you close that deal, you make nothing. So all the money I spent on a photographer, all the time I spent there, nothing, no expenses are reimbursed. That's just the price of being a realtor now. You'll have it on the other side where you'll get a call from a client and say, "Hey, Derek, you were referred to me, and I want to go look at this house on 123 Main Street. Okay, when do you want to go? Can we go this afternoon?" Yes. I mean, I always like whatever I'm doing. Unless I've got other clients that have appointments, I let my client's schedule dictate my own, because I don't ever want to be the agent that stops somebody from getting it home. For example, if I were to say, "Hey, I can't do it this afternoon, but how about tomorrow?" Okay, sure. What? And then somebody else looks at the home today and buys it. It's my fault that my client didn't get the home. So that's another part of real estate, though it's an amazing career. Technically, you're never off, and technically, you never know what you're going to be doing when. So normally, like, let's say I had to work out, I would have just said, let's say I got the call at 10 a.m. and I knew I still had to work out that day, or I had a dentist appointment or something. I would get that in and say, "Hey, I'm available at 2, anytime after 2 or anytime after 3. Will that work? What time after that? You pick." Something like that. So just, again, I can typically fit anybody into any day. Typically, it's rare that I would have to tell somebody no. But my point is that they want to look at it today at 3 o'clock. Okay, 3 o'clock comes, we go look at the house. "Derek, I want to put an offer in." Okay, we put an offer in. 3 weeks later, we close the deal. I get paid. Like, I've literally got an hour. Maybe it's going to be more than that, because you have behind the scenes stuff like inspections and paperwork, stuff like that. But let's say I've got 5 hours invested in it, and I'm making $15,000. Well, you can do the math. If you've got 5 hours invested, you're making $3,000 an hour. So when you put hundreds of hours into another job that pays you nothing, then it all averages out. You're not making $3,000 an hour. You're making, 300 or something, but it's super rare for me. It's only happened one time where I spent all that money and didn't get it, but I've seen it happen so often with other agents. They aren't able to get the job done. So that can be something that really is devastating, especially to newer agents, because you do so much work for free. Like, for example, you might get a client and you're out showing them homes. That was a breaking news app. Let me make sure it's nothing critical. Make sure the world didn't end. Oh no, it's something to do with the Ohio State. I don't know. I didn't. I read Ohio State and didn't read anymore. But you'll get a client that wants to go look at homes, and you'll show them. Let's say it's a Saturday, and you show them 4 homes, and they don't like any of them. And then they call you and they want to go Monday evening to look at a home, and then they call you Wednesday evening and want to go look at 2 homes, and then the next Saturday you take them and show them 3 homes, and then 2 weeks later, and then 2 weeks later, and then 2 weeks later. I mean, I have showed people like 30, 40 homes before they ever decide on one. And I have had it happen where I would show 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 homes, and then I don't hear from these people. So when I call them and I'm saying, "Are you still looking?" "No, Derek, we ended up going to an open house, and we didn't want to lose the home, so we just bought it right then and there from that agent in the open house." That's happened to me early on in my career, before I really learned that I had to basically really strongly educate these people that says, "Hey, I am your agent. You can't go to an open house. You can't go to a builder without using me. I'm putting in all this time." "Oh, that's how it works." We didn't know how it works. I mean, a lot of people think that you're just getting paid by the hour by the real estate brokerage firm you work for. So you just have to be careful, or you can really spend a ridiculous amount of time with people and then end up losing the deal to another agent. So there's just a lot of nuances like that are, there's a learning curve, but ultimately it's just about being good to people, having a good eye, having a good understanding for being able to look at real estate markets and determining price, because that's really what it boils down to. If the house is presented well and it's priced right, it will sell fast, and that's the key. If you can present wrong and you can price wrong, you can make mistakes both sides. This house that I showed you tonight was probably priced a little strong, but it could have been overcome with a little better presentation. Shovel the driveway for showings. It's just, if it snows, you just gotta do it. I know nobody lives there, but call your neighbors that used to live next door and ask them, "Who are you using to shovel your driveway? Because I need to pay them to shovel this driveway." Easy. And clean up the mess. Go the extra step. If there's little things that need touched up, touch them up. If you have stainless steel, polish the stainless steel. If you have walls that are dingy, just repaint those walls. Paint is so cheap, and paint is so easy to do. And then lastly, clean. And it isn't just clean and you're done. About once every 2 weeks, you need to go back to your listings and take a vacuum with you, so you can sweep up and put lines back in the carpet if there's carpet in the house, or if the house has a little smell to it, put an air freshener in there, or burn a candle or something to just little touches go a long way. So I don't know, this house just really just frustrated me that this could have been the house for my client. She liked the home otherwise, and I get like, "Oh, can't she look over a couple leaves and not get in the drive?" Sure, of course she can, but again, it's a feeling. It's emotions play into buying things, and you're not going to get that if you're giving people objection after objection. So for the record, this was a $300,000 house, like $299. So that's what that house cost here in Indiana. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I got the request to do the dark theme again from one of my subscribers, so I thought I'd do a dark video, just the dark atmosphere here. If you like this video, I hope you will subscribe. If you do like it, please give me a thumbs up. And until next time, thank you.